Welcome back to Church House Studios. Today we're going to talk about recording bass guitar. When you're doing a song, having a good solid bottom end is really important to the overall mix. One of the sayings you'll always hear is you can't fix the recording in the mix, and you can't fix a mix in a master. What they're really saying is, if you don't capture the frequencies when you're recording, you can't boost them in the mix. You can't bring them down in the mix. You have to have those frequencies to begin with. So when recording bass, what you want to do in the beginning is give yourself options. Again, with multi-tracking, and we've talked about this before in other videos, with multi-tracking you can record as many tracks as you want, so you want to take advantage of that. In this case, what we're going to do is show you how you can take a bass guitar and record two tracks separately at the same time, two different tracks, and have two different types of frequencies on them. So for doing this, what we're going to do is on one hand we're going to use a bass amplifier, going to a big fat bass cabinet, and use the right kind of microphone on it. When we talked about mics before, you'll remember that microphones really capture different frequencies, and a lot of them are made specially to capture lower frequencies or higher frequencies. In this end, we're using an AKG D112, which is used mostly for kick drums and bass guitars, and that's going to capture the bass sound. The other thing we're going to do is we're going to record directly into the mixing board. And to do that, we're going to go through a EQ pedal, which I'm going to boost some frequencies on. So we're going to use that to bring in the higher end. Both those things are going to go first into a mic preamp and into a compressor before they go into the mixing board. So that's how we're going to use a little boost in the frequencies and changes on them. To split them, what we're going to use right now is a chorus pedal, which is a stereo chorus pedal, which is going to split out to two signals. There's lots of ways you could do it. For instance, you could use what they call an ABY pedal. This basically takes the signal in and splits it out to two different ways, and you can run it to two different sources. In this case, like I said, we're going to use the chorus pedal to do that split. So first what we're going to do is I decided in this case I want to capture the lower end using the amplified sound. So the first thing we're going to do is take a listen to what the amplified sound sounds like. As you can hear, we have a lot of low end in that, and that's what we're kind of trying to capture through the amplifier. On the other hand, we're going to try and capture through the direct in is the top end. So to get the top end, we're going to sound a little more like this. So when you're recording, you have two different sounds going in, and in the mix you can use one, the other, or both. And that's going to help you get a lot of variety that you can use when you're mixing the song down after you have all the other parts recorded. So some things you want to know is what your frequency are. Different basses, amplifiers, direct-ins are going to boost different frequencies. So you're going to have to sort of play around for a while, learn what frequencies sound good coming from the different equipment you're using. As a general rule on a bass guitar, if you want to do the attack and have a sharper, crisper sound, you want to boost things about 1 kilohertz. If you're looking to boost more of the bottom end, you're looking to boost it probably frequencies around 60 to 80 hertz. So on the pedals that we're using, when we're going in direct, on the EQ I wanted the top end, so I boosted it up about 1 kilohertz and added a few dBs there. On the amplifier, what I did is I boosted the bottom end on the amp itself and took down the top end so it's a little fatter in the bottom. The other thing you can do to change the sound or the sonics of it and basically the frequencies is whether you're going to hand play it or pick play it. You're going to get very different sounds from that. Now in this case we're going to demonstrate using the higher end sound that's going in the direct in. So if you're playing by hand, that's a little fatter sound if you're looking for that. If you're going to play with a pick, notice there's a lot more bite to it and a lot more top end. Truthfully, when I play, as a player on a bass, I'm usually hand playing. I'd rather hand play. But a lot of times in recording, even if it's a song I usually hand play, I might play it with a pick just so I get the top end that cuts through everything. So what we want to do is get both of them, we'll line them up there, and then when we're mixing down, we can pick whichever one we want. So what I want to do now is just sort of give you a little visual and show you what we're running through. We'll go through that again, and you can sort of take a look at that and know your two different ways. So let's look at what we're using right now. So again, we're starting with the bass guitar. The bass guitar is going out, and it's getting mixed down and split in this Ibanez chorus pedal. I don't even have the chorus on, I just really want to use it for the split this time. The direct in is running into an EQ. The EQ, of course, is then running into a mic preamp and into a compressor. Now you'll see coming out of the other end of the chorus pedal, we're going to run it into the amplifier. I'm using a Sun Beta bass here. We're running that into a 2x15 Black Widow speaker, and we're using the bass microphone, the AKG D112 microphone. So those are the two different things we're using. Those are going to be the splits, and that's basically going to give you a different mix. So again, give yourself options. That's what you always want to do. Give yourself different ways to record so you have it in the mix, because you don't want to get everything done, get everything put away, record everything else, and then when you go down the mix it, you go, I don't have enough top end or bottom end the bass. So these are the best way to do it. Try it twice. After you do it for a while, you'll probably know what you want and be able to do a single method, a direct in or a bass amp, whichever one you want. And by then you'll sort of be used to what you're looking for in the song and know how to get it. So that's our little thing for bass today. Hope you enjoyed it. Any questions or comments, just give us a holler, and thanks very much.